Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a really good win for us, a great way to close the season. I give our kids, so much credit. 3 weeks ago, things weren't looking quite as bright as they are right now, and it's, to go to Harvard and get a win like that, and then to win in overtime at Brown, and then finally to come home and kind of put it all together. It was very gratifying, from my end, and I think it was a great sign and a great way to send our seniors off with a little bit of momentum to the off season, a little bit of recruiting momentum, and probably for the first time, and certainly a long time, we played really good 60 minutes. We didn't go in spurts. We were very consistent from the start of the game to the end of the game, and we were playing a pretty good Cornell team. They were coming in with high stakes as well, trying to get their first winning record since 2005. So we knew we were going to have our hands full, the combination of interstate rivalry, a cup associated with this, and both teams trying to get winning records. So kudos to our kids. It was really gratifying to see. I was really glad that they, put it all together. And I guess, the only question I'm going to have is why the hell it took 10 games, but that's beside the point. It's better late than never, I guess. So, but kudos to our kids. It's really good to see. Yeah, I mentioned it on Wednesday in my media stuff. They've gone through unprecedented times, and they were right in the middle of all this COVID stuff. And, not every section of the country, not every school treats COVID the same, and so we were as severely restricted as any school in the United States. We literally went 19 months without seeing our kids, which is unbelievable. And so for them to come back and be able to put back-to-back winning seasons following all that chaos is just remarkable to me, and it speaks volumes of the kids, their work ethic, their leadership, their ability to improvise at home and kind of get stuff done on their own. But this has not been an easy time for anybody in the world of intercollegiate athletics, and certainly it has not been for our guys. They've had to overcome unbelievable amount to get to this point. So, again, it's kudos to them. You like to think, we got a little bit more bounce in our step heading into the off-season lifting program, heading into the running program, into the recruiting cycle. I think the first and the last games are really critical. And, we're finishing a 3-game winning streak, which is even better. And so, I think it gives you a lot of momentum. I think it gives you a lot of impetus moving forward. So it happened at a really good time, okay? And everybody feels good about sending the seniors off the way we had hoped, and we feel good about, moving the program forward. And we're relatively a young team. We don't graduate that many kids. So hopefully that's a really good sign for Columbia football.
Well, I think that Coach Bagnoli touched on a little bit. I think that it was nice to finally play a full 60 minutes of football. I think that we kind of showed what team that we're, the kind of team that we're capable of being on offense and defense, and we did it for 60 minutes. The defense played extremely hard. Their quarterback was a dynamic runner. He likes to run around back there, extend plays, and they did a good job containing him. And then on offense, we just stayed consistent, moved the ball. Run game was on, pass game was on, and we had limited possessions, but we did the most with those possessions, and I'm very happy with the way that the whole team played. And
summed it up. Yeah, I think the most exciting piece of it was we had some of our younger guys that stepped up. During the year we had a few guys go down, and I think we saw that Anthony Russos led the team today with 9 tackles and 1 TFL. He had a big game over there on the boundary. We kind of isolated him a little bit, told him that he had to go to work, and he did. So I think in terms of execution, I think we did a really good job. They had some touchdown drives, but overall I think we did really good.
It feels great, really. There's no other words to describe it, but we're just leaned on. We're very experienced and talented in our backfield, and then those guys up front just really following their lead. And we knew those were people we can count on. So we were just kind of having our way with them, and we kept going. We were feeling good, so kind of just kept our foot in the pedal and kept going. So got the offense going, and it felt really good.
Well, I think that a big thing for us was we played really complementary football on offense, right? We had the running game was going, and then they had to load the box, and we have dynamic receivers all across the board, and we were able to get behind them and make big plays with the receivers. So I think that pretty much sums it up. The fact that we played complementary football with the run game and the pass game, and we had a good play action game going, we had a good quick game going, and we take our shots because we are so dynamic, at the receiver position. So I think that. The offense just did a great job. The offensive line did a great job holding up front. The receivers were in the right place at the right time, and then obviously the running backs were running hard, hitting the hole all day. So it was awesome to see.
Yeah, I think Coach, like you said, he touched on Wednesday, is just adversity. From the outside, you can't really understand what's going on inside of a program. But there's just a lot of little things that go on, and you get to see. Coach also touched on this in his interview with Lance Meadows of. Seeing the development of guys, right? Everyone starts at a point their freshman year, and when you finish your senior year, you see these kids that are ready to just take life by the reins and get going. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've loved being here through 4 years is there's actual real growth and development. There's not stagnation at this school, and so that's been really, really great to be a part of.
Just blessed. This is a place and people that I love, and that's why a big part of the reason I came back, just the culture that we have and the people we've built over these past 4 years. I love it, and I've built relationships here that I'll have for the rest of my life. So just even football, aside from football, just the people that I get to spend time with day in and day out. It's just I love it, and the people we have are just amazing. So I've had nothing but a good time my last 4 or 5 years.